Hello, Just Jean talking. I'm Jean, registered nurse and maternal child health and family planning nurse practitioner. My job here is to discuss with you some of the systems of the body, anything related to health, hygiene, and to bring it to you in plain English. And I know that I'm on the right track because, as I told you, there are a lot of things that I did not know about the body. So I'm assuming that I'm John Q. Public, and if I didn't know, then there are other people out there who didn't know things as well. And I ran into a couple of my followers today, and they told me I'm on the right track. They said, yeah, there are things that I used to wonder about and didn't know, so keep it going. So I'm happy. So guys, I really appreciate your comments and your suggestions. I really do. Today we're talking about how pregnancy occurs. And I see my haters out there saying, oh, everybody know that. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so let's start talking about conception. Conception is simply when an egg from the female is fertilized by the sperm from a male. And when those two get together, that's conception. The egg has been fertilized, that is conception. So let's start talking about the sperm. The sperm, when they're manufactured, they leave the testicles. They leave via a series of tubes that are like back and forth like this. They're kind of like stacked on top of each other. Remind me of like a radiator type effect. Anyway, the sperm travels through these tubes and it gets to the prostate area. And remember I told you the prostate gland is that gland that the urethra passes down through. I also told you that the prostate manufactures a milky white secretion in the ducts, and that secretion joins with the sperm that's coming out of the epididymis. It joins together and supports the sperm in its journey to become semen. So, as the male ejaculates, I told you that the prostate has a muscular type activity that shoots the semen out. Okay, so it goes into the female vagina and sexual intercourse takes place. At each time that this guy ejaculates, there's probably 40 million sperm in that solution. A whole bunch of them. Only one is going to reach home plate. So it's going to be about 39.9999 of them fellas that's going to be disappointed. So at any rate, the sperm, the semen is in the vagina. The sperm has a long way to go to reach where it's trying to get to. So the sperm has a head section and it has a tail. Sometimes it has more than one tail. Also inside that sperm, in the tail area, there's something called mitochondria, and that's the solution, I'll use solutions for lack of a better word, that provides energy to the sperm. Because the sperm has a long way to go. It has to go, I got a little picture. This is a diagram of the uterus. This is the vagina down here. This is the cervix, where the sperm has to go through the cervix, up into the uterus, and then it has to go out through the fallopian tubes, and these little wavy arms out here. The sperm has to go all the way out to here. Got it? Okay. So, the sperm has to have energy in order to get that long distance. So it goes on up, it goes through the cervix, up through the uterine cavity, and out through the fallopian tubes where these wavy arms are. Okay, so now when the sperm gets there, it has in its head enzymes. Enzymes are something that cause a change. So the sperm has enzymes in the head. It had the mitochondria, which gave it the energy to get where it had to go. So all of them are flying up there trying to get to Mary Sue. all of them, just running, out this fallopian tube, out the other side. They just going everywhere, but they don't exactly know where she is. Okay, now let's talk about the little lady. So, the fallopian tubes, we got the fallopian tubes on each side, and just beneath the fallopian tubes on each side, there is an ovary. The ovary produces hormone, estrogen, and the ovary produces an egg that it releases once a month or whenever. Releases the egg goes out into the abdominal cavity, and then it finds its way to those wavy arms of the fallopian tube, and they're sort of pulled along up into that fallopian tube. So now we got the sperm, a bunch of them running around in the fallopian tube, and we also got that Mary Sue, the egg, who's also in the fallopian tube now. So at some point, and this whole process is highly orchestrated. Everything has to go just right, or there's no conception. There's no birth. If everything is right, if all the hormones are right, if the season, the day, the week, everything is right, a sperm will fly up to that egg. The egg, knowing that the sperm is coming, will send out a little reception area, something like a little cone that will shoot out from the egg. And this is a reception area. Hormones, again, like I say, everything orchestrated. When she shoots out that little doorway, cone of reception, the sperm looks over there and says, hey, there is a reception area over there. So the sperm runs up there to that reception area, and the enzymes that are inside the head of that sperm, they zero in on that cone of reception, and they actually bore a little hole into that reception door, and they burrow their way into that egg. As soon as that happens, somebody's at the gate. There's a little membrane that comes across there. There's a door that closes, and somebody's standing there saying, hey, John Henry already here. Everybody else can go. Everybody else dismissed. Bye. That's it. So we got the sperm that has met the egg, and again, everything is so highly organized that the sperm and the egg, there has to be poles that meet. It has to be a functioning pole ramp. And when those poles meet, then they can actually join together. So now we got the sperm, we got the ovum. We got two components in here. We got 23 chromosomes coming from here, from the guy. We got 23 coming from the lady. They're joined together. The male, the sperm, has a sex chromosome. It's either X or Y. If he comes with an X chromosome, that's going to be a girl. If he comes with a Y chromosome, that's going to be a boy. The lady ain't got nothing to do with that. It came from the sperm. Okay, so once they join together, the mitochondria, the energy that brought them there and all that kind of stuff, that's going to eventually just drop off. So now the only mitochondria that you got is coming from the female side. And that's why you can only get mitochondrial DNA from the female. If you look at Dateline, you hear that all the time. They'll say, oh yeah, we had to get the mom and the sister and the so-and-so to get the DNA. So that's the situation. So the sperm and the egg are together. Now, they do some sort of division called meiosis, M-I-E-O-S-I-S, where they start to kind of like divide right there. And Eventually, they will travel together, join together, 46 chromosomes, everything that this person needs to be John Henry's son and Mary Jo's. This is a girl. John Henry's daughter and Mary Jo's daughter. All of the characteristics, the red hair, the blue eyes, the lips, everything that's going to make up this person is already in there. So now what they got to do is they've got to travel back down the fallopian tube. Okay, they're out here somewhere, joined together. So now what they got to do, as one, they got to travel down this fallopian tube and go back down into the uterus, where they're going to plant themselves on one of those walls. And that's where they're going to plant and start to grow. And I'm going to come back to this 1 second. When that girl situation is implanted at the uterus there, everything is already there. All the chromosomes, everything is there. But this other thing that really tripped me off, in this process of meiosis, as the cells sort of like divide themselves, there's one section of it that divides a little bit and then it halts. It halts and it stays stagnant for 10 to 12 years till this girl who's growing in the uterus, until she gets to be 10 or 12 years old. When she goes through puberty, then it jumps up and acts up again and brings on these female characteristics. Awesome. One more thing. While that couple are traveling back down the fallopian tube, what if for some reason they get embedded right in here? They decide not to go all the way to the uterus. Let's just stop right here and latch onto the wall of the fallopian tube. Now you got a tubal pregnancy. Can't do it, because the tube does not have the capacity of the uterus. It doesn't have that stretchability, that muscular. It doesn't have all that. So if it implants in that tube, that's a tubal pregnancy, and we have to have surgical intervention. So I'm just like amazed at the body. The more I learn, the more amazed I am how it just maintains itself at a steady state. If this happens, it knows to do that. If something goes to my eye knows to blink. If I get a cut or something or injury on the end of my finger, white blood cells know to rush there and help heal that and stop the bleeding. It's just a miracle. Everything is coordinated. Everything is right where it's supposed to be, when it's supposed to be, when things are functioning at optimal level. It's a right on time body. Okay, hope you learned something. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, and please give me some comments, give me some feedback. Help a sister out.